Welcome back to Monday Night Lights. We have had an insane night so far, and that was only round one. We had UTK get eliminated in Game 5. We had another Game 5 on the mainstream, Siena Heights taking down ETSU. We had a freaking 12-minute overtime between Texas and Davenport. Taquito, thanks for joining me, first of all. Have you been weathering the insanity okay?
I think so, man. Hearing the 12-minute overtime, I fear that we missed out on what would be called a banger,
Yeah.
MrBepic.
I know, I almost chose, well, there were a lot of round one series tonight that I was thinking about choosing for the mainstream, and I went with the classic 4 seed versus the 5 seed, because I knew it would be close, and it was, went to Game 5, but the 3 and the 6 seed, Texas and Davenport, give us the 12-minute OT, and then Florida decides as the 8 seed, Hammy Crackers has never played with this roster before, to upset Tennessee, so you really couldn't go wrong with the series tonight, except Bruton Parker versus King. Unfortunately, the Barons did sweep King over there, so they're gonna hold off for a second, play Texas on stream later on, but man, has it been a crazy night.
I mean, it's something that seems to be a regular trend with these university/college teams. The 8 seed seems to just beat the 1st seed. It happened when we did that 64-man bracket before all this started.
Yeah.
It's happened a couple times on MNL. I mean, it's kind of what's a trend. The guys who happen to be 8 seed, if you're the 1st seed, well, sorry, the script writes itself. I don't know what to tell you guys.
I don't know. Upsets abound in Collegiate Rocket League. We're no strangers to insane results if you do follow the CRL space. And, I mean, Monday Night Lights has been insane as ever tonight. But I'm excited for this one. I was not expecting Siena Heights versus Florida. But I was disappointed. Originally, thinking Tennessee was going to beat Florida, that I wouldn't get to see Hammy Crackers playing with his new team for the upcoming season. But hey, now I get to see it. Hammy, formerly at FAU, is now going to the University of Florida for this upcoming school year, and we all know how good Hammy Crackers is. Larry and Kyan have been 2 players that I have loved watching since I got to meet them at the beginning of this past school year. So this is just an exciting Florida Gators team that I'm very happy that UTK graciously let me watch in this first semifinal.
Hey, it's always good to have permission and have things on your own stream, right? Like
Yeah.
it's always the best thing when someone else gives you the permission to have this ability to see a beautiful match here. And what we do have is obviously this upset team over here taking on what would be, I mean, it's a storied player in Hammy Crackers.
Yeah.
Hammy Crackers been around for quite some time, so seeing this player pop up on a new squad with Larry and Kyan is going to be very interesting. But I am here for more upsets. I'm here for the bottom seed run, if you will, what could be called the Cinderella. We've kicked off 5 minutes on the clock, counting down, my friend. It's game number 1 of a best of 7, correct?
Yep, best of 7 in the semifinals. Fast start already in game 1 with Florida getting off to the races, and you have to get back in defense to stop the Siena Heights initial attack of the game. But yeah, best of 7, so that's the format for the rest of the tournament. Both semis and grands will be full best of 7s. And you mentioned Florida being the 8th seed. That was arbitrarily seeded by me. I was thinking, okay, US never played a tournament with this version of the roster, with True Raid in. They weren't super great last season. They weren't bad, but they weren't great. And so I figured I'd put them in the 8th seed. They probably lose to Tennessee, and that's that for their debut. But all right, we get an 8th seed run tonight, apparently.
That's what we need, but Fuge is going to be the one who starts us off. 1 minute 2 seconds into game number 1. That soft touch from Hammy, not exactly away from the net as they wanted, more so into the hands of an opponent. They will rack us up for the first goal this series. Now, my question to you is this. Like you said, because I remember the Florida squad, when you said True Raid, that's when I locked in. I was like, who's the player I'm forgetting about? It's True Raid. And I feel like it should kind of be an upgrade, no shade to True Raid. It should be an upgrade over with Hammy Crackers, right? I mean, just given the results the player had. You know what I mean?
I think True Raid would say the same exact thing.
I feel you. But noticing the result that we've got on the Siena Heights side, these boards came to play. And I'm finally glad that Yanini put it in the chat. It's like Panini with a Y.
Yep, that's how you pronounce it. Yanini. I'm glad, because I kind of guessed when I was casting the first series, but I guessed correctly, fortunately, which is always 50-50 when you're casting a player. You're not sure how to pronounce it if you get it right or wrong, but that is how you pronounce it, and I'm glad because I called Yanini's name a lot in the last series against East Tennessee. He looked so good against ETSU, was setting up the rest of his teammates a lot, and the entire roster of Siena Heights looked phenomenal. Yanini just stood out to me because I hadn't gotten to watch them play before, but their ability on the ball was astounding.
I was seeing 11's name pop up quite frequently as well. Not so much from Fuge. I think I saw Fuge playing that staunch third, that cleanup player, the person who was in the right position at all the proper moments. So I like how you kind of spotlight Yanini there. On the squad, though, so far, who are we looking to maybe fight against this Gators squad? Are we going to rely on Yanini's skill like in that ETSU game, or do you think somebody else steps into the spotlight?
Oh, it's the full team. But Yanini's taking the spotlight so far. I don't think that's an answer to your question. Yanini's just being brilliant at the perfect time to try and answer your question. SHU is going to have to be on point all around, but oh my word, Yanini, that was filthy.
That was absolutely amazing play right there. They're up by 2 now, 2-0 to the side of blue. The Gators better get to chomping because right now you've already passed halftime. You've got no real good look at your opponent's net here. This is the first one. Wait. How did it sneak in? Did Larry just have some magical negative angle here? What happened?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
But,
little help.
Just a little bit. It was a good attempt on net. You have to respect that if you're Siena Heights and you're not expecting that extra little touch that Larry got to put it center, so I can't really blame the own goal right there, but it is still tough. They'll have to respond immediately, and who better than Yanini to put in their second goal of the game, set up by 11 with great corner control, but great finish by Yanini.
Again, it's just one of those things where being in the right place at the right time is always going to benefit you as a player. And I think the offense that we have seen right now from Siena Heights has been extremely good this specific game one. But we all know game ones and best of sevens is always the appetizer round. It's the feeler. You got to see what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. So hopefully on the side of Orange, the download doesn't happen too quickly for the Gators. If it does, though, we're going to see a completely different blue team game number 2.
Larry has space, has always been dangerous in the air. They have really got such a mechanically gifted roster. I was always a fan of watching Florida's offense work, but with Hammy Crackers in, and True Raid's not benched or anything, he will be a third man for Florida this season. I want to bring up that point earlier. Hammy won't play in every single series as he starts his academic career at Florida, but True Raid's still a part of it. Hammy just playing in this tournament, and I imagine the big ones that Florida will get to with how stacked a roster they have now, but that's a great bump, requiring brilliance that does not come from the Gators on their goal line, and Yanini puts in the 4th.
They're having a bit of fun. I mean, yeah, that was kind of silly. I have to agree. Yeah, there you go. There it is. I got to agree with the side of Siena Heights there in the chat. That was a bit goofy, as they might say. A little bit of a potato league there in a quick brief second. That ball getting launched outfield. Larry is the only defender that we see holding down the Gator line. Can we see something happen here? Maybe a miracle for the side of Florida, but right now, Cayenne with no boost is not going to be able to work much with the ball on possession. And again, they seem to get locked down in their final third here, specifically the goal line as well. That's a good ceiling pitch. Gracefully goes off the post for Larry right there. It turns into a great clear, but I feel like Florida's lacking a bit of offense this game. Maybe they step it up in these last few seconds to give them some hope, but it's not looking good.
I mean, you want numbers to back that up. That is only the 5th shot on target this game for Florida, and they've spent 65% of the game with the ball in their defensive half. So you're absolutely spot on. Florida have not had many opportunities. They started off the game with a wicked chance on target that Siena Heights saved, And right after that, SHU got right down to business, and they limited what I was expecting to be a high-flying, very, very good Florida roster. But again, I've talked about growing pains when talking about the Tennessee roster and losing their opening best-of-5 of this tournament. Florida, I expect to see growing pains at some point. And right there, I mean, 4-1, Siena Heights absolutely looking on point in Game 1.
I mean, they come off a good win. They come off an upset win right there, right? Like Siena Heights was a little bit of a lower seed going into that first series, if I'm not mistaken.
They were the higher seed, but you know
they were the higher seed. Okay,
is arbitrary. From like it's just
sure,
yeah.
Sure. But statistics don't lie sometimes. You know, sometimes they do give us a little bit of a prequel to the story. So it's nice to see that they do get a close game win and continue that momentum here into this series so far. A 4-1 victory for game number 1 right now. It is looking good on the side of orange, but the Gators are going to have to step up here at the beginning of game number 2. 5 on the clock. Bepic, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking I need time. I need time in this series. There's a reason I love best of 7s. There's plenty of time for adjustments, and UF, I want to see how they adjust, how they get more time in the offensive zone, how they work a little better on their defensive side, but that is wicked. I first of all don't know how you defend against that shot from Yanini. Florida is very lucky that was off target, but we got to see some better possession control, and give that man some more shots on target. Hammy Crackers, a nice flick on, but Fuge, better stop on the goal line.
Larry, nice bit of possession there. Unfortunately, lost it over to Fuge, but gets right back into the play just immediately with that speed. Larry has always been an extremely quick player when in awkward positions, but unfortunately that ball is fed out to 11, who knocks down goal number 1 right underneath the crossbar. And I'll parrot your statement with a different name. How do you block a shot like that from 11?
I mean, that has to come with Larry not getting demoed. He's got to realize there's a player behind him and dump off the ball sooner. Because once that demo happened, Kyan didn't have enough boost to stop a missile like that on target, and Hammy was out of position. So that's Siena Heights absolutely creating that opportunity and ultimately goal. But Florida, they are being put in tough positions to defend at the moment. They're going to have to get creative when it comes to slowing down this SHU offense that is firing on absolutely all cylinders right now. Good demo by Hammy to slow down, potentially. Siena Heights find it clear, steal some boost. All right, maybe the Gators have a chance here.
Off the back wall, Larry could get that all-important second touch. No one home, yeah, wow. And Fuge is going to capitalize. Hammy, I see the rotation. I saw what you were trying to do. Felt like it was a little bit wide, but obviously you think your teammates have some threatening, defensive answer to the offense on transition. However, this Siena Heights, let's just call it what it is, brother. They shoot and they don't miss.
Not at the moment, that is for sure. Even in the This Is Rocket League moments earlier, when everyone was kind of flailing at the ball, they still found a way to turn that into a goal. Siena Heights, there's a reason they were flirting with the top 48 in colleagues poll all throughout last season. They are a solid roster right now, making a Florida that just beat Tennessee a little foolish here, and that is another opportunity stop. Good save on the goal line. Siena Heights continuing to work defensively on the offensive side of the ball. There was no boost for a moment for UF as Kyan, Larry, and Hammy all had low boost, but Larry and Hammy fuel up. They look to find a way out, but can't do it just yet.
I like Fuge hanging around the play right there, looking for that possession. I know it's not the best, but look at the opportunity it created. Fuge, in what could be considered kind of a no man's land area, just watching the play develop and that trust in your teammates to make a 50, make a breakaway option for you to cut through, and as a player knowing to just go ahead and take that possession. The comms are on fire. We see another almost on kickoff right there. Good for Larry to get a hand up on it, but I mean, the Gators are looking shut down right now.
Siena Heights is just too good at the moment. Far too good. On both sides of the ball, that was consistent in the previous series against East Tennessee. They stepped up big time when they had to. Even the games that they lost, as that did go to Game 5, were 2 overtime losses where ETSU were matching the pace and the ability on the ball that Siena Heights were throwing at them. So that was more credit to ETSU stepping up. Here, Siena Heights have kept that form, and with 2 minutes left in game 2. They're looking poised to take a 2-0 series lead. Florida trying to battle back, but SHU just haven't downloaded.
I would say, yeah, you are right in that SHU has the download currently on the Gators. These 50s are looking threatening, though. Hammy does need to try to take a shot. Kyan, the last offender. Larry races down, gets there in time. However, there's just no advantageous turn for the side of blue this series. When they go back to defense, they always end up, well, not scoring is what I was going to say, but they managed to score there. What did they just? Oh, they just parked the bus. Fooge, that's the first time I've seen you with cement in your tires. What's going on, brother?
All right, I'll forgive one time, like, because Fooge has been so good on the goal line for Siena Heights, but right there, that was finally a play to prove to us that there are not robots playing Rocket League for Siena Heights. They're still humans. They will make mistakes, and Florida kind of get lucky with that one, but hey, it's a goal to cut the lead to 2, and in the final minute 15 of this game, they are more than capable of making this comeback happen, but they have to make sure they're playing flawless Rocket League again to get through Siena Heights, because that was the one mistake SHU was going to make.
Absolutely was the one they're going to make, and the one they got gifted. Let's be completely honest. Let's not discredit this orange squad. Absolutely rocketed on the pitch this evening. Hammy down to Larry, looking for a pass. Sadly, no boost there either. I like that Hammy gets up, but unfortunately nothing was going to come from that. The passing play could have happened. No connection on the shot, unfortunately, and Hammy has decided to cut back and send the ball back for a little bit more possession on the side of Gators. I like both the 50s there from Larry. Unfortunately, couldn't go through, and that demo could not have been more perfectly timed.
I don't know how. I don't know how Siena Heights keeps timing these plays so perfectly. Florida was gaining steam there. They were getting more space in offense, looking more confident in the air on the ball, but when he shuts that play down, it's a flip reset off 50 as well to just get back in defense sooner and then create space for his teammates to put together a great demo play, great finish as well. Just wonderful, wonderful Rocket League from Siena Heights at the moment. And Hammy, opportunity now, but that's saved by 11. That one deflected by Fooge, and Siena Heights have locked down game 2.
They've absolutely locked down game 2. Same score line as well. It is the parrot from game number 1. They decided they liked 5 goals only on the scoreboard, with them holding 4 of them. Looking for the 5th right here as the ball continues to stay up and off the ground, but finally we touch down for the end. It is 4-1 yet again. The side of orange, SHU win.
And the shots kind of similar to game number 1. Siena Heights a little more efficient in this game. Florida, they were held to 5 shots in game 1, 6 right here. Larry has 84 points. That shows you just how much the Gators have been manhandled by Siena Heights on both ends of the pitch. I don't know how to keep rephrasing it, but SHU, I'm just enamored with their creativity all around the field, their ability in defense to then create immediate offense, and their ability to create creative offense and not go for the same thing over and over again. It's very fun to watch.
It's insanely fun. This series has been just happened very quickly so far, in my opinion. Bepic, it is not been the drawn-out series I thought we would see, though. Winning game number 3 for the side of the Gators would be a nice change of pace to at least show us there's some life over here for the side of Florida. But right now, it is, again, you've got to stand up to the task. You've scored 2 goals in 10 minutes of Rocket League to your opponent's 8. You've been outshot by, what, dang near 20 shots on net? I mean, good lord.
They've been outshot by 9 total, but they've given up 20 on target.
Okay, that's what it was. That's what it was. Okay.
And that's what's made the scoreline so one-sided, because SHU are executing at the moment. And again, opportunities. Handicrackers gets very much dunked on the sideline, but he needs a great touch. Fooge was zoning off the UF attack, and that'll buy enough time to slow it down, but eventually Siena Heights will concede. Florida, great counterattack right there. Had a man advantage, had a boost advantage, and they finally execute, and that's their first lead of the series.
I cannot believe that Florida is up for the first time in game number 3. Maybe the statement is true, my friend. Third time might quite literally be the charm. 11 with boost, with possession off the back wall. Will be saved. Cayenne floating around with, I mean, now 0 boost. Basically had 0. That's a way to refuel right there. Nice boost off of spawn. Looking for the block. Hammy with the clear. Larry with the demo. All three working in tandem here. Do we see a goal from it? Cayenne floating awkwardly. Will not find the shot. Possession just traded hands for a brief moment, but we know Siena Heights is not going to let him get away with it that easy.
Hammy off the sidewall. We know how dangerous he can be. We'll stop Fuge, but he jumped as well. And so Siena Heights now have an odd man rush the other way. Yini passing center. Hammy can't make contact, but neither does Fuge. It's a good read defensively by Florida. Didn't quite pan out, so they have to play a little bit of panic defense there, but they will clear the zone momentarily. Hammy going up low on boost, so all he can do is just plug that ball into Siena Heights territory.
Out of corner here. It's good touch possibility. Fuge isn't going to get it far away. Not a big enough clear. Hammy with possession goes for the flip reset, but Yanini says absolutely not. You're not going to do that on my head. No, sir. You guys got one, and it was a gift. Cherish it while you can, because that was the past. This is the present.
Hammy out to the side. Hammy Crackers on it. The pinch goes center. Larry, a drop down ball. I kind of see what was developing. Florida maybe trying to link up with one another to get some quick offense, but again, doesn't pan out. Siena Heights too good defensively. 11 will flick on target. Yanini turning, passing center. Cayenne is dead to rights. Wonderful play from Siena Heights to get them level up in game 3.
I like what Cayenne tried to do. I like that Cayenne went for what should have been the obvious passing recipient right there. Went for the bump, but was chased completely off position when no one else was there to help out. So that is a wonderful play developed there for Siena Heights to get them goal number 1. Hammy now possession in the midfield. 11 trying to shut it down. Good challenge, but I do believe Cayenne got the better of it. Hammy can't get up in time. Yanini off the pretty much the back wall. Fuge, I love the heart in the play, but you're crazy for jumping last week for that pass.
And he still got Hammy. Like he didn't get the ball, sure. It's a tough pass to field, but he bumped Hammy off the ball in the midfield. That's the second place prize, honestly, in that kind of play. So then I get doing wild things. Fuge ready for that shot from Hammy, and the rebound from Larry is suboptimal. Goes off to the side and is weak and easily collected out of Siena Heights. 11 dribbling the other way, going back wall. 11 slams home a go-ahead goal. Siena Heights back out in front.
I think I need to get some pep, though. That was sick. Oh, from the transition off the back line. Oh, that was wonderful. Way to take the lead right there, Siena Heights. Can we get another one here, though, for Florida? We want to get something on the side of blue. I mean, give us a series. You guys took the lead, you held it for a bit, and now you've lost it once again. Cayenne looking to secure at least a tying point. Larry is up. Larry is shooting on a slightly open net. The defender, I believe, was bumped out of the way up higher on the back wall. So that'll at least put the Gators within sight to try to win game number 3, but sadly they're only tied.
Still, tied up is much better than down, I think, 4-1 the first 2 games around this point is what Siena Heights was leading by. At the very least 3-1, as they had tended to run away with the opening couple of games by this point in them. So 2-2, Florida will take, but they gotta be careful here. Yanini out to the side will cut very quickly. That bounce perfect though, so try to get the ball to Fuge, and it's not the greatest of passes. Still, they made Florida have to work for that clear. Creative touch from Hammy Crackers, the skim to get the ball away, and now, again, required in defense. He's the last man back, but Larry cuts rotation, slows down the play. Siena Heights biding their time, but Florida solid for now. I don't like the double commit, though.
Neither. What a stretch for Hammy. Right on the goal line. Oh my gosh! Can we get Cayenne or Larry a raise? How did both of them defend that? They both got a chance to get that ball out. Nice pass up off the back wall. Do we see it develop? Hammy Crackers, the save from 11. We've got a little bit longer. 0 seconds have hit the clock, and they should. Oh, Larry, let it drop. Larry, give yourself some grace. Go for OT. What are you doing right here? Don't go for the win. What is
still up.
on?
Cayenne's up as well now. Drop down to Hammy. That ball will stay center, and now we gotta ground it. There's no way it stays up, right? Okay. All right, I was in the same boat with you, Taquito. I thought Larry was crazy for keeping that ball in the air in his defensive third. But it pans out. They get an opportunity, but 11 is not going to miss that. Off kickoff. That's the winner for Siena Heights, and it's a best of 7. So they have not won the series just yet, despite the GGs.
Oh. They're hot.
Yeah.
You gotta feed the hot hand. I mean, you just gotta feed the hot hand. That's what happens here in a series like this. And I mean, I can't tell you who is the hot hand on Siena Heights. They're all three just putting in massive amounts of work, and each of them, I think, has been the key reason they've won a singular, like, each one of these games. Florida, though, looking so much better.
Yeah.
I think the big mistake right there, and I saw it right on kickoff, when Larry decided not to go for the ball and went for the boost instead. I think that was the big mistake. Any opportunity at the ball to at least force possession going one way or the other should have been what Florida have done. Again, y'all are better, y'all are higher ranked than me. You know this game better than I do. I'm just here to yap about it.
And I think it's those small mistakes that you expect from a roster making its competitive debut. Like I said, when I talked to True Raid and extended the invitation to Florida for this event, he said that Hammy had not yet played with his team, and they might have scrimmed since then. It was several days ago that they got the invitation, but at least in a competitive event, this is Florida's first time playing together, so there are going to be minor mistakes like that. And I guess, I don't know, Tennessee must not have punished those minor mistakes that were happening, or they didn't come in the first series, because Siena Heights punishing every single opening that is given to them. Larry doubling that accidentally, punished. Forcing him to jump looks silly again, punished. 1-0 Siena Heights.
I mean, what happens when you commit a crime, my friend? You get punished. The crime there was having not solid defense. I love this Florida team, but like, lock down. Lock down. You guys are on defense pretty often through this series. Your offense isn't horrible. It's been better actually as the series has progressed. So lock down on your final third, and then also give yourself that afforded opportunity to transition into offense properly. But I mean, when you're playing against a team like Siena Heights, who's just gonna literally sauce your entire just approaching team, all right, Bepic, I'm done. You got it.
That was sauce, though. 11 timed that flick so perfectly, and then Larry was still rotating back. Siena Heights there, looking poised to take our first grand final spot of the evening. Try and take that winner-take-all $60 prize. And I mean, they look the part of the top team in this bracket. They feel confident right now. You can see it in the car language. Kanini jumping up right there when not even close to the ball. It's a miss from Fuge, trying to get the ball to 11. But regardless, Siena Heights getting back in transition and stopping Florida.
They got to connect on those two. That was a great pass right in front of the goal line. I feel like they would have actually secured a shot at the bare minimum. Cayenne, another slow pass over to Larry. Back to Cayenne. Shot is deflected wide. Cayenne, unfortunately, missing their opportunity. We go wrap around the corner again. Larry looking for a challenge. Can't find it. They have to race back here. Hammy with no boost, finally grabs a pad. Larry's up. Yanini is shutting it down right there in the mid. And just, is this team the midfield menace? Is that what we're going to call them? Because that seems to be where they're winning all these opportunities at, including the goal line. So which side of the pitch are they good on? Which side are they bad on? Where are the mistakes that Siena Heights is truly making?
Well, the answer to the first question is that, yes, I would call them midfield menaces. I'd also call them front field and backfield menaces, because the answer to your next question is they're good on all sides of the field. I have been so impressed by Siena Heights throughout the 2 series of watching them, and I've gotten word from Mama 11 in chat, who I can only assume is the mother of 11 on the field, that this is the first event for this iteration of Siena Heights, with Yanini taking the place. I think it was Benbow, the third for Siena Heights the last time I watched them. But I know 11 and Fuge are used to playing with each other, but Yanini has come in and slotted into this roster and looked wonderful in doing so.
100% agree right there. They have looked insane. So it's 2 first-timers. Literally, the way we look at these squads,
yep.
This is Florida's first event, really, with these guys. And so Siena Heights also get their chance to just flaunt their stuff. It's been proven left, right, front, and center. That's going to be scary. Hammy gets to the side. 11 decide to skirt around that, maybe for some possession. Takes a cheeky shot towards the net. That's a great bump. Ryan now has a little bit to work with. Yanini tries to get a hand up. Hammy Cracker shooting with no juice in the tank, and the ball is going to be going the other way.
And Fuge takes out Larry there, just for good measure. Though Kyan couldn't get the ball around the first man. Again, Florida struggling to beat that first contest on the ball when they have some room anywhere on the pitch, really. Siena Heights in their challenge game been on point, and they are 90 seconds away from confirming that one of the grand final spots will be going their way. But we'll see if Florida has any juice left in the tank here at the end of Game 4.
Well, we're hoping and praying, aren't we? Because right now, counting down to less than 60 seconds, getting it close, and it is not looking good. If they can't get a goal going the other direction, then it's all but curtains for the Gators. They will be turned into fish food.
And they are right now, very much fish food. Unfortunately, a little lackluster against Siena Heights, but I mean, they came in and got the big upset of the night, taking out Tennessee in round 1, and that I think is an impressive enough bullet point on their very young-lived resume, short-lived resume. I don't know, it's young right now. They're still building it. That's what I'm trying to say. But Siena Heights showed them who was boss in this one. Man, 4-0 sweep on a Hammy Crackers-led Florida Gators is an impressive result for them.
Absolutely, and unless like we see just the craziest miracle happen here in 15 seconds, I always hate calling it so early. That's the one thing I never enjoy as a commentator caster, but it's just sometimes facts are facts and it's presented right in front of you. Throw the ball away, Yanini. You guys are done. Don't even let the 0 seconds happen. Fuge has completely stopped. Back flips to let it touch, and the GGs were preemptive last game. Yeah. They're mint this time. 4-0. Send them to the finals, baby. Siena Heights on a tear.
They will await the winner of Bruton Parker versus Texas. But yeah, a tear is completely right. Won the last 2 games of their series against ETSU, and then 4 straight. So 6 games of Rocket League in a row for SHU. Wow. But shout out Florida. I mean, I enjoyed watching them when they were allowed to play offense. It looked good. They definitely have wrinkles to iron out, though, before the next season, if they are going to be the contenders that I think they will be, and that I'm sure they think they will be. But they just ran up against an extremely good Siena Heights team that will absolutely be contenders wherever they're playing next season.
100%. That is a roster to be afraid of. Obviously, that UTK result here in the first round was unexpected. So those are 2 rosters that, again, I'm looking at that are young, up and coming.
Yep.
Obviously, the first time we're seeing Siena Heights here. Taibu getting added over to UTK. Lots of rising talent here, guys, in the collegiate scene. So you better keep your eyes peeled. We're gonna get some crazy kids coming up, signing up for college, proving what they got on the pitch. So you're not gonna want to miss these ML nights ever, man.
Absolutely not. That was the point of doing these events, and it's brought out some good viewership. Thank you all for watching tonight. We got 2 more series to go, so I hope you stick around, even if you're a Florida fan. Which, speaking of which, I gotta shout out my boy Lil Stan and Cheemsburger as well, to FAU and FAU player and Stan, and then just Florida and FAU fan in general and Cheemsburger. That series brought out the stars tonight. Obviously, Mama 11 as well. Definitely sticking with us for the Siena Heights appearance in the grand finals. But Taquito, I appreciate you joining me for that semifinals. But we do have to go to a short break. Wish Taquito well as we're moving on to Texas and Bruton Parker coming up on Monday Night Lights, presented by Final Form Entertainment in a little bit. See you there.